Greetings, greetings, greetings. Happy Monday it is. A new week, a new opportunity, a new day. And we are here yet again with the Good Life, UC Davis, and the City of Oakland with Mindful Mondays with Iya Kemi. I'd like to welcome you back today. For those that will be catching the recording later on today via Facebook Land, we thank you and we welcome you for your energy as well. We know that all time, past, present, and future are still congruently flowing together. So I would like to thank you. If you have logged in a little after the beginning of today's theme is reassurance. Reassurance. That is the theme for today. As I pondered on that word today, I thought about, we're in this eclipse energy, and eclipse is going to be in Taurus. And so you have one water sign with the first eclipse earlier this year in Scorpio, and now this last month's eclipse was in Scorpio. Now we have an eclipse coming in Taurus. Those are the two opposite signs. So one is water, one is earth. So how are we flowing as we walk on this earth? How are we keeping ourselves grounded? And how are we reassuring ourselves that during this time that we are certain that all will be well? As you know, I like to define things and I break down things because I love the etymology, which is the origin of a word. And so I broke down reassurance. You have you have as, and you have sure. So how are you reviewing as you are your certainty of who you are and flowing in all of that? Because the dictionary or has referred as an adverb. So go as fast as you can, or it can be a conjunction, similar to watching someone as they did something. But I want to look at it as, you know, the adverb, because again, sure means certain. So how are we sure even in the word sure, it's an adjective or also an adverb. So in that, how are we confident in what we know? How are we certain to do the things that we do? How are we able to be relied on or trusted? And again, how are we confident? We are the first ones that need to reassure ourselves. However, oftentimes we look outside of ourselves to be reassured or assured. This word also links to insurance. We pay insurance every month on our cars, on our homes, our bodies, dental, health, all of these things, but are we insuring ourselves? Are we insuring ourselves to feel safe, protected, and doing the things that we have to do to keep our minds in a light energy, an energy that is abundant here, having heaven on earth? When I look at reassurance, again, it's to inform positively. Reassuring means to make sure or certain. The attainment of, how do we attain these things? And if we even want to look at a scripture that popped up when I was doing my research, it says, and hereby we know that we are of the truth and shall reassure or assure our hearts. Now, how are we assuring our hearts? In Egypt and ancient Kemet, they would weigh your heart before they would weigh your mind. So how light is your mind? How are you reassuring your mind and your heart at the same time? Because it first comes from your heart. You have to feel for it. And if it doesn't feel good, then the thought process is not going to flow in a positive manner. So this is the key to affirming and reaffirming ourselves, because that is our insurance to know that, hey, we woke up today. So having the gratitude for the sun that rose, even if it's cloudy like it is here in Los Angeles and raining, I still know, and I'm very sure that the sun is still shining on the other side. So I am grateful for this opportunity to breathe this breath that is unseen and allow the blood that I know is flowing. I'm sure it's flowing because I'm feeling my heartbeat. I'm here present with you. So, how can I affirm those things within myself to have gratitude for these things, these activities of my limbs, the five senses, the ability to see, hear, touch, smell? Because without the gratitude of those things, then the Most High would be like, well, why do you need it? You don't have gratitude for it. So it is reassuring, even as we age, that we are still in the space and time that we're supposed to be in, and we have the wisdom to move forward. So, as you know, if you are new to this space, I like to set intentions. And with the word reassurance, I want to have the collective space ensure and reassure each other with our words of intent because we are a collective. There is no separation, although you're on your monitor in your space and time, our energies are still connected in some way, shape, or form. So if you have the opportunity and want to share, you can raise your hand on the Zoom and or put your word in the chat so that we can collectively have an affirmation that utilizes all the words to reassure and reaffirm ourselves. I see, Miss Jan, you may have not realized you are unmuted. I'm not sure if you want to share a word that comes to mind, but anyone, again, you can put it in the space in the chat, or you may say it in the room.
I'm stuck, Maya.
Put you on the spot. My apologies.
I'm stuck.
Okay. So in this being stuck, it gives you the time to be still, to ground. So oftentimes we may feel stuck, especially when it's something new. But in what way can we assure that this is okay? To learn something, be open, share, and transparent. Now, as you know, those that have been joining me, I don't call names, but I did see your mic unmuted, and that was the only reason because we're not in grade school anymore. We are here collective together. And I love that we have someone that put the word to reassure and having inner peace. Now, these affirmations, I know those that joined last week, we went over the affirmations, and then I also had some other things. I realized that at some point my internet must have disconnected and failed to send out the information, so that will be going out today with the I am affirmations, as well as the other things that we spoke of during that time. Those questions to do the shadow work. What does that look like? And in this, we are able, again, because there is an eclipse, this is shadow work time. This is the time to see how your emotional self, which is represented by the moon, and your higher self, which is represented by the sun, can come into one. How can we merge the two to allow us to move forward and have this inner peace, reassuring again that all is well and we are at the proper space at the right time. I do want to ask, how's everyone's week been? Because I did not ask that. I just went straight into affirmations and words of intent. So if there's anything anyone wants to share, a revelation or anything that they may have had since the last class, please feel free to share that information or how that was a benefit for you during your week. If you were able to utilize any of what you were able to process, although not receiving the email, how did that work for you? Miss Benton.
Well, last night I did a movie Till about Emmett Till, and it wasn't as good as the movie when they had the Emmett Till on TV. So I thought that it could have been, they said Hooper Goldberg said it took her 12 years for him to do the movie. But thinking about it this morning, I thought about my 14-year-old grandson, because he was 14.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought, thinking about protection, because these little young boys, they'll be out there if you let them. So anyway, I just had him on my mind.
Well, thank you for bringing them into the space. There is a lot going on in this energy that's going on. So for you to bring up Emmett Till, and we're looking at someone like Kyrie Irving being dragged in the media for just sharing a documentary that he was educating himself on. It is an unfortunate thing, and this is why it's oftentimes that we have to bring assurance and reassurance in for those that are in not only in ourselves but in our family, and especially this younger generation. I think it's beautiful when elders reach back and they actually are mentors, mentees, or sharing the information, knowledge, and wealth that they have gained over the years. This is a very high powered energy that is taking place. As you know, or may not know, I am a numerologist, so I do look at numbers, and we are going into a universal year 7. So if you were to look up the spiritual meaning or the meaning of a 7, it has a lot to do with wanting to be the independent person and to also be of the community, but your spirit is looking to elevate. So in that independence and also how you operate in the community, how can you tap into your spiritual self, your higher self? We also have the United States is going through their solar return, so it's a lot of stuff that is going to uprise next year. As I've shared before in some of the, I can't recall which workshop or which Mindful Mondays, but we are going into a time that is really about us being protected through prayer, affirmations, positive words, always cleansing and clearing our energy. Because if you look at the last year 7, we had the hurricane in New Orleans. I think it was Hurricane Harvey. And then before that, it was the other hurricane that took down the levees. So it's a lot of water energy that is taking place, a lot of expansion in water. And so, being that we're majority water, we are a part of nature. So our vibration can affect the whole in nature, whether we realize it or not. As I've traveled over, this not only United States, but also Africa and Brazil and Mexico and other parts, there's a difference in the water. There's a difference in the frequency when I go into these different areas. For example, I was in the desert this weekend, and as soon as I came back to the city, I got a headache. So to be in the desert where there's not much, it's dry, but there's hot running springs under Palm Desert. So there is water present, even though it appears to be dry. The reality is that cities, big cities, are noise pollution. It is noise pollution that doesn't allow you to properly think at times because, again, we're electromagnetic beings. So oftentimes we are feeling other people's energy and we think it's ours. If we are not familiar with ourselves, we don't know thyself, we don't know how we ebb and flow. We're not able to discern, okay, that's not me. I wasn't feeling that before entering into this space, and now I feel this. So apparently, there's something in this space that is causing a discord or dis-ease in my body. So let me reassure myself that this is not me. Let me reassure myself that I'm protected, I am safe. And oftentimes we have to do that. So I thank you for bringing that movie in. It's still something I haven't really made the decision to go see just yet. However, it is something that I will eventually see. I see that we have in the comments that weeks are starting off well. Thank you for sharing, Terry. And then Alana, reassurance that I am confident in what I know concerning marginalized communities. That is a very powerful reassurance and affirmation. Thank you for sharing that. And Jan, positive energy from nature's beauty when you walk outside. I love that you shared that as well, Jan, because to have that follow behind marginalized communities and then bring in nature's beauty. Imagine that. When we're in these big cities, oftentimes it's not too much nature, it's like a concrete jungle.
Right.
All you see is concrete everywhere you
Mhm.
look. Lights,
Mhm.
concrete. There's so many
Mhm.
lights that you can't even see the stars.
Mhm. Mhm.
And in that, it makes us forget that we are stars. It makes us forget about our light because nature is not really around for us to flow with it.
Mm-mm.
So oftentimes in these marginalized communities, we have to step outside of them
Mhm.
in order to regain our balance, in order to reassure that this is really not me. My mind is not this concrete. I know what is concrete for me, but I would like to flow with nature.
But I think also it gives us an opportunity to see that they're not just what we're visually seeing, that they are, more than, just the homeless man or homeless woman, that they're made up of water. They have, their bodies sense positive energy and negative energy, and being able to look past, I always call it the mask that they're wearing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. It does make absolute sense to me because sometimes that mask is mental health that they are not even familiar with and willing to address.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them
Mm-hmm.
feel that being in nature at the capacity that they are is freedom to them.
Right, right, right.
So who are we to judge, in that, being one that is dealing with mental health clients as well as family members. Sometimes we make the statement, oh, I wonder why, where's their
Mm-hmm.
family at?
Yeah, yeah,
That's sometimes the first thought that we have
yeah.
versus, oftentimes when I pass through those communities, I may just send energy. For
Mm-hmm.
those that aren't choosing to do that, may they find their path. Because again, some of them choose that and that is their path. And
That's
I
right.
have to be okay with their choice. I have to be okay with their choice and just send them love and light.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
As long as they have peace of mind and they're okay with their process, there's nothing
Right.
more that is necessary for me to do, but again, to continue to hold space, knowing that there is no separation. So thank you for sharing that and bringing that into a space because to me, it deals with a lot of the mental health that we're not addressing in this
That's
country.
right. That's right.
And meditation and mindfulness is now becoming something on the rise, which I think, for example, in my city, the police department in my city only has one trained police officer on mental health.
Wow.
One trained, just one.
Mm.
Now, most of the situations that happen are stemming from mental health. But that goes again, who is reassuring us? How are we being reassured in our schools? How are we being reassured by our doctors? We're paying for this
Mm-hmm.
insurance, but they are giving us pills or
Mm-hmm.
other things versus really tapping into and understanding our body, understanding the science and the alchemy of who we are,
Right.
the foods that we eat. There's some areas that
Yep.
have food deserts.
Yep. Yep.
So how can we again reassure ourselves in this time? A lot of people are not paying attention to the pattern. The media may post all these different things. Oh, there's a food shortage, there's this, and then you see movies about cannibalism and all of that.
Right. Right.
What is it that they're feeding our minds?
Right.
And this is why we have to step back at times to reassure ourselves and tap out of the media, tap out of the daily news, especially if it's not positive.
Right.
So I thank you again for sharing
Mm-hmm.
that. Nature's beauty is very simple. Even in concrete jungles or cities, I tend to just look at the houses and their flowers and their plants and their landscape. If I can't get to a park, if I can't get to a beach, if I can't get to the desert, let me admire the beauty that is around. Having plants in the home also brings a reassurance to be grounded and be planted and planting. So it's beautiful to have a lot of greenage around you because that also color green deals with the heart. That is the heart chakra. So just
This,
imagine when you're putting your hands in the soil to even
mm,
transfer that plant into a new pot.
yeah.
That is,
I did that at 6 o'clock this morning.
oh, beautiful.
A
That
friend
is,
of a friend of mine, she said, well, her name is Jane, and she lives on 5 acres, and she has I know here in Florida, I guess it's the same in California, citrus is everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And she has it's just amazing. We call her house or her acreage Trader Jane instead of Trader John
I love
because
that.
because she has I have in my kitchen bags and bags of grapefruit, satsumas, persimmons. I mean, it's just, oh my gosh, it's just a pomelo this big. I mean,
Oh,
it is
wow.
just to die for.
Oh,
And she gave me, I don't know if y'all have ever seen a Mexican sunflower. It's just the most beautiful flower. And so she told me, I saw her Saturday. She said, make sure that repot it in a big vase, in a big pot. And so at 6 o'clock this morning, I said, no time like the present. So
that's a
I got
beautiful
up
thing.
and I repotted it. My husband is like, well, what are you doing? I said, repotting the Mexican sunflower. But it made me feel so, I don't know, refreshed. It uh, just knowing what it was going to look like once it started getting that sun. I put the fertilizer in there, the soil. It made me feel, I don't know, just so good. I felt like I was doing something not only for myself, but also for nature. I felt like I was giving something back to the trees
In-
outside, to the flowers. So,
Indeed. Thank you so much for sharing. I definitely lit up in the inside because number six, which we're in a universal year, six has a lot to do with harmony. And it also has to do with community. So as you shared, and you feel like you're giving back to nature and the community. And I think that's a beautiful thing. As the sun rises, may we all blossom like the flower. Just in that simple share that you had, you see the reassurance of that, the words, it's a certainty that was there. So that joy that you had when you did it, that is what gets your cells going in your mind, like, oh my gosh, it's an exciting thing, and that's giving the universe the ability to bring more of that to you. The more excited we are, the more we assure ourselves, the more we receive. That's just as with gratitude. A lot of times, some people are blanket, surface with, oh, I'm grateful for my fingers. Well, what about I'm grateful that my finger has healed from when I cut it? Or I'm grateful that my hair has grown back when I cut it versus, oh, I cut my hair and it's little things like that, having the extensive uh, definition or certainty in sharing your gratitude, going into the details. It's a beautiful thing. A lot of this reassurance actually comes from our solar plexus. Our solar plexus is our area of creation, and it's our area of understanding that we are co creators with the creator. So if we cannot feel good in our emotional self, then the things that we want to manifest are not really going to come to us because we don't feel good about it. So, in assuring ourselves and knowing that we certainly deserve the things that we are looking to do, manifest, and be are there, but you have to have the positive energy in order to attract more. So in doing so, it's the I ams and, I am certain, and saying those words because, again, words are vibration, words are life. So in that, I would like us to prepare ourselves, get your space ready to do a brief meditation. And the image that you see at this time will not be nature, but it will be a feminine silhouette that is going to be full of light. As you connect with the image, if you choose to keep your eyes open, I want you to visualize this light being around you. This is a meditation that you can always continue or keep or think about, as you close your eyes and just seeing a light emanate from you. Because when you close your eyes, it's pretty dark. You don't see much of anything unless you're in a bright room. So how can, in this darkness or in a dark moment or a dark time, can we see that this is a space and time to be still and create, or a time to be still and grow, bloom, and expand? So I do want you to connect with your breath, allowing your belly to expand and your chest to expand during this time, and even exhaling through your mouth. When you do your exhale out of your mouth, I want you to think of the things that you want to let go of. I will say some affirmations during this time as well, so do not be distracted from the words, but allow yourself to embody the words that are coming through your speakers. I am safe. I am luxury embodied. I am stable and nothing can shake me. I am sensual and beautiful. I am unbothered and at peace. I am nourishment. I am loyal. I am outgrowing the mindset that keeps me stifled. I am outgrowing perspectives that no longer serve me. I am outgrowing relationships that no longer serve me. I am whole. I am love. I am light. I am abundant. I value myself. I believe in my opportunities. I am stronger than my fears. I am in complete control of my emotions. I am able to achieve everything I want. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. I am grateful for my journey. I am letting go of my insecurities. I am stronger than I think. I am learning something from every experience that I have. I am embracing my flaws and imperfections. My happiness and well-being are important. I am walking confidently into every situation. I am not afraid of the unknown. I am not scared of taking risks. I overcome every setback. I am motivated to become the best version of myself. I am creating my destiny. I am grateful for everything I've accomplished thus far. I am radiant. I am constantly aspiring to improve myself. I am loved for who I am. I trust my gut. I celebrate and reward myself for every win. I am that I am. Continue tapping into your breath, bringing you into a state of peace, connecting with the affirmations and the chant of Ram, which activates your solar plexus, clearing energy from your emotional self, feeling where tension may be in your body, and giving thanks for the awareness. May the oxygen that's in your body flow to any area that may be tense. As you reconnect with your space, the now, the present, giving thanks to all of the activity that is in your body, the limbs, the organs, the senses, the heartbeat, the unseen breath flowing through the right and the left nostril and exiting through your mouth. When you're ready, you may come back to the space. With no rush, just an ease. Just an ease to just be. If you have to take a deep inhalation and a sigh, do so. Feel your heart lighten as you exhale. Shoulders dropped and relaxed. Jaw relaxed. Eyebrows relaxed. Giving thanks to your higher consciousness, your ancestors, spirit guides, and the body that you reside in. Gratitude for the now. Well, that was a bit powerful for me on this end. I don't know about you, but it's definitely a space and time that we're in to have to clear the energy from our emotional selves with so much going on in the world that can stir up our emotions. This assurance allows us to be in the now within our own selves, to not take on whatever the news is pumping into our minds, our families, and what they're going through, but to even hold space and reassure that our light will bring the peace, not only to ourselves, but those who align with that peace, align with that joy. And we continue to hold space for those that may not even want to align with it, in the hopes that they will eventually find the light within themselves to just be. So, with the last 13 minutes that we have in this space, if you want to share how this meditation may have felt to you, what did you process? Did words come up, colors come up, feelings come up? In this theme of reassuring ourselves. If so, you can raise your hand or you can put it in the chat if it's not something that you want to share verbally. Thank you, Ms. Benton.
Just to stop procrastinating. You know, there's some things that I know that I want to do, I need to do, and I will do as of today. I'm not going to procrastinate. That's what I really, I got a lot of other things, but that was the thing that I really need to do, and I'm going to do them.
Absolutely. Oftentimes that procrastination is linked to some type of fear or doubt or insecurity or just being plain old tired, you know. But once we do it and we finish it, we're just like, oh,
At least.
I did it. Why did I take so long to do it? And sometimes we have to laugh at ourselves. Be like, really? I've been avoiding to do this for what? But again, it's all about time, space, and the moment because it's supposed to happen today or even tomorrow if you don't finish it today. It's being okay with that and reassuring ourselves. So thank you for sharing that because that was one of the things that came up for me as well. It is my birthday week and I was trying to travel and it's like, no, you have too many things to do to travel. You can't run away from the responsibilities. It's going to be there when you come back. So why not get it done then before? So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. Okay, Miss Cornelius.
Good morning.
Greetings.
In the meditation exercise, the rhythm was very comforting and relaxing. I couldn't quite make out what the mantra was.
Ram. R-A-M. Ram.
R-A-M. Okay.
Yes.
But
You say
but
Ram versus Ram.
okay, Ram.
Mm-hmm.
But your affirmation was rhythmic with the Ram. Like there'd be like 2 seconds in between. It was like music almost.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still imagining repotting the plant. Alana's joy and excitement as she was sharing the experience, not only about the Mexican sunflower, but also about her friend's property or home. It was just so comforting. And I was thinking, what gives me that kind of excitement? What simple thing, not like, oh, I'm going on vacation or oh, I'm going to this concert. What everyday thing gives me that joy that's accessible to me? And I'm still thinking about it. It didn't come as readily as I hoped for.
And it will. It will because you're setting the intent and you're acknowledging it. And the first step is acknowledgement.
Yes.
So as you continue to have this acknowledgement, may the way be open for you to connect with the simplicity of life. Because as I look at your picture, I'm like, your hair. I'm like loving your hair. So it's like exciting to see like this beautiful, healthy hair with, I just love gray hair, white hair, silver hair. It's beautiful, And so it's the simplicity. And sometimes we overthink it and make it more difficult. So may you have grace and ease in discovering your simple joy.
Thank you. And I actually cut my hair really short in April, simply because I was experiencing some health issues, which didn't allow me to manage it the way that I wanted to. And I'm growing it back. It was simply for that purpose, but it was also probably about 9 years since I had done that. I've done it 2 or 3 times. And, I've been watching OWN's Oprah Winfrey Network, the Hair Tales. I don't know if any of you have
I will
seen
look
it.
at it. Thank you for turning me onto that.
It's a docu-series, I think they call it, facilitated by Tracy Ellis Ross. And it's just a group of women sharing their experiences with being, having Black hair. I'll just say that.
Yes.
And so, we all have a story about that, I'm sure. But how, while I miss my hair, I'm also embracing this new experience, and because I haven't had it in so many years.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize how much my hair was part of my identity. And so I'm, okay, who is this new person? And of course, it's in 6 months, it's grown quite a bit. But, you know, it's just hair, but really it's not just hair.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I really thank you for sharing that. Many may not believe that I was actually Alana's length in September of last year. And
Wow.
although it's curled up, it's grown pretty extensive, for me to be absolutely bald. And I can definitely relate to my hair being my identity. My mom was my hairdresser. So imagine having a mother as a hairdresser. I mean, my hair was done every week to going to someone that's just natural now and not,
Yeah.
going to a beauty shop as often. So it is more than hair. So I thank you for putting that in the space. But the fact that you said it had been 9 years, nine is the last number in numerology, and it deals with change, transformation, and rebirth. So you are
Mhm.
entering into a new cycle by doing that, and whether you realize it or not. And hair is our antenna, so it's kind of your receptor of how you receive energy. So may you continue to have clarity and the open mind to continue to go into spaces that you may not normally be comfortable in, and allow yourself to grow in the process as your hair grows back.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. I think we have a few more minutes. Alana, did you want to share your experience with us?
Well, my experience was very lighthearted. I, you know, the I when I first heard the mantra, I could have gone either way. I could have gone heavy, or I could have gone light. And so I decided to do light because it's too much heavy stuff going on, you know, right now around me. And so that was a moment for me to step out and just, I felt like I was riding, not surfing, but riding a wave, just kind of just going, in and out. I was directionless. So I was being carried, and it felt so good for me not to lead the pack, just to be carried. And that felt so good. I didn't want to come back. I was like, so that was the energy that I had, and that I was receiving from the from the water, that was saying, let me take the lead and you follow. Yeah, let me do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Many of us are, if we think of the ocean, it's abundant. We don't know the depths of the sea. We don't know the contents in the ocean. However, if we're full of water, we are going to float.
Mhm.
This weekend, I had the opportunity in my bath, spiritual bath I took. As I inhaled, my body rose in the water. As I exhaled, my body sunk into the water.
Hmm.
And it showed me how we are able to truly just flow with nature. But it's when we allow those other things that make us feel like, oh, I need a lifeguard, I need a life jacket, I need something to help me. And in reality, we're floating on a cork board, and that's never going to sink. Even when things appear to be bad, we always overcome. It's just reassuring ourselves that those were just the ebbs to teach us how to flow. Just like the ocean, there's an ebb and a flow. It goes in, it goes out. And so the sound of the ocean is very meditative. And whether we realize it or not, the moon is connected to the waters in the ocean. And the moon is also our emotional self. So as this full moon is going into this eclipse over the week, tonight into tomorrow morning, if you have the opportunity, it's going to be red and beautiful.
Yeah.
So if you're up early, take a look at it and say those things that you want to affirm for yourself. You know, deal with your emotional self and reaffirm and reassure yourself that all will be well as you enter into a new cycle, a new energy coming this year. Because again, we're getting a preview of what our personal years are going to be like for the next year. This is a preview. So we have control, again, as the affirmations say, our destiny. I am creating my destiny. So I appreciate you being in this space. Miss Jan, I hope today's meditation was great for you. Happy birthday to you, Miss Carolyn. I am looking forward to celebrating this season because it's very powerful. It's a very transformative season. So be gentle with yourself, have grace with yourself, and affirm and reassure yourself that all is well and you are beautiful in the perfect space, time, and moment to just be. So thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you all on Monday if time permits for you to come. And thank you to those that are on Facebook land. Make sure that you register for any upcoming classes with The Good Life or at thegoodlife.org and also visit their Facebook page. And if you're in Oakland or in the Bay Area, check them out next weekend as they have their first annual festival.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
thank you again for being part
Thank
of
you.
Mindful Mondays with Iya Kemi and the Good Life program. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a blessed week.
You do the
Thank
same.
you.